now that we have crossed six figures in sales on Etsy, people want to know, like, what have you learned? Like, what would you do differently? What would you do again? What are you doing now that maybe you didn't do in the beginning? And so here's what I would say if I'm going to reflect on $100,000 plus in Etsy sales. And this is again from us, not anyone else, because everyone else has their own experience. But I would say we definitely have dialed up our marketing. And in the very beginning, my wife started this Etsy shop and she did it as a little side hustle. And it still is somewhat of a side hustle. But we've learned that, well, it's like anything. When you focus on something more, it's going to grow generally. And that's what we've really been able to do. I got involved probably about 2 years ago, I would say. And we also realized that marketing is really, really the same here as it is on other platforms. And what do I mean by marketing? Etsy ads, email marketing, internally and externally. Those are like the big ones, the big levers, I would say, that has really accelerated our sales this year, even over last year. Last year's November was around 22,000. This November, we're going to hit $40,000. And the difference is, well, we dialed up Etsy ads, and you're probably going to ask, well, Scott, how much did you spend on Etsy ads to do that 40,000? I'm glad that you asked, because I just looked not that long ago, and I believe it was just under $3,700 is what we spent. And from that $3,700, we brought in $12,000. It was like $12,200 from that $3,700, but organically made up the other part of it. So I've realized that it's like a flywheel. You put good products up, you create a really well branded shop, you make sure that your listings are optimized very well, and then you turn up the traffic. And what I mean by turning up the traffic is any way that you can drive traffic that's targeted, by the way, that's important. Once we can dial up that marketing through Etsy ads, email marketing, we're able to now inject traffic, targeted traffic, to come over and buy. Well, that's what Etsy ads did. $3,700 in spend, $12,000 in a return. That's great, right? But you heard me say we did about $40,000. So all that other stuff we didn't pay for. But because we drove sales into the business, that also took our SEO that we optimized for, and then put us at the top of a lot of search results, because now Etsy's looking at our listings like, hey, this listing is really selling and people are leaving great reviews. We should probably promote it organically. So all we're doing is we're feeding the Etsy algorithm. We're feeding the Etsy flywheel, and we're feeding it with good marketing that is getting eyeballs, but also getting conversions. The big lesson here that I've realized is, well, when you inject those sales and you inject that type of traffic, sales will increase. But they're only going to increase, and this is a big important point, they're only going to increase if you have products that people actually want. So you can do all that marketing stuff, but you didn't do good product research to find products that are in demand that people are actually searching for. It's not going to matter. You can put all the marketing behind it you want. You're not going to get any sales. And you can turn on Etsy ads and you'll probably see you're not getting a lot of impressions. You're not getting a lot of clicks. And the reason why is because you might have, on your product research, you might have missed that part. So that has to be in place. So we always start, pick a good niche, pick good products that have demand, and then turn on the traffic with Etsy ads and email marketing. And that is the simplicity of our business. And I look now and I kind of zoomed out at 10,000 feet and I'm like, okay, what makes us different than a lot of other sellers? Brand focused. We have multiple products to serve to that same customer. We have good marketing in place. And well, we're also taking care of our customers with great customer service. And that's it. That's all that we focus on. Now, the one thing I will say is this, and I've realized this, is on Etsy, Q4 is going to be by far the biggest, the most sales that you're going to do on Etsy. And so what we've done is throughout the year, yes, we try to stay consistent, but we also know that we're gearing up for these holidays. And we can even say Easter, we can say Mother's Day and Father's Day, and all of these have nice little spikes, right? But not like Q4. And this year, we noticed that in around late August, early September is when things started to tick up for us. And that's when I said, okay, we're going to have a great Q4. Because of that, I've also realized that you're probably going to be a little stressed out in Q4. But we also know that there's an end in mind, or a rest period in time, which will come after Q4. And my wife right now is experiencing that. The time that I'm actually recording this here for you is, she's in it, and I'm in it, and we're busy. But we know that there's only a few more weeks left, and then it's going to kind of taper down, and that's okay. But the one thing we're focusing on is how many customers can we get in Q4? Because if we get customers in Q4, like I think I just looked, we're over 1,000 customers in November. 1,000 customers. Now we can market to those people again in the future. So that's why when we're looking and zooming out on our business, those are the things that we really, really focus on. Yes, we're looking at the number that we're making, right? But we're also looking at the amount of customers that we have coming in, because we know that there's a potential that they could be repeat customers, and we're building out our customer base.